I'll now call to order the regular meeting dated Thursday, April 4, 2019. I'd like to remind everyone to silence all phones. If you would like to speak on an agenda item tonight, please fill out one of the blue slips in the back of the room and turn it in to someone here in the front. We'll have the invocation and pledge of allegiance by Mr. McMillan.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for the grace you pour out upon us. We ask a special blessing over this meeting tonight and the folks that are here. Lord, give us wisdom and discernment as we make these decisions here for the parish. We ask a special blessing on our servicemen and women throughout the world. Ask a special blessing on this nation, this state, and this parish. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Say with me, please. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. McMillan. Roll call, Ms. Kathy.
Yes, sir. Mr. Abshire?
Here.
Mr. Andropon?
Here.
Mr. Barris?
Here.
Mr. Brain?
Here.
Mr. Collins?
Here.
Mr. Farnham is unable to attend this evening. He's out of town. Mr. Guidry?
Here.
Mr. Guillory?
Here.
Mr. Landry?
Here.
Mr. Latour?
Here.
Vice President Mayo?
Here.
Mr. McMillan?
Here.
Mr. Scott's also out of town. Mrs. Trimmy is unable to attend, and President White.
Here, thank you, Ms. Kathy.
You're welcome.
Before we move to four, I'd like to appoint a personal privilege to Dane. Mr. Dane Boland, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. I think everyone is aware early on in our strategic planning process, this jury picked litter as one of its top priorities. I think if you look at all the priorities that we have, it's important, and I think you have to have someone who's passionate, who can take lead and kind of bring us to a new level on litter. So with that, I would kind of, at this time, like to announce that Yvette Pryor-Couzans is our new litter manager. She's passionate, got a lot of energy, and I'd like to bring her up to the podium to say a couple of words.
Good evening, everyone. I'm really excited about this opportunity and this initiative. It's something that I'm very passionate about, and it's something that I feel like I can certainly make a difference in doing. And so I'm really looking forward to working with each of you and being able to combat this issue.
We have a few jurors who'd like to speak. Mr. Guidry.
Thank you, Mr. President. I guess, Mr. Boland, can you tell us basically what would be the job as to what is going to take place for this? Because I'm not sure. Maybe some of the other jurors are not real clear, but when you say the initiative, what will that be for the parish?
So our plans or next steps would be, by the way, Yvette started on April Fool's Day, and that was Monday, so she's right out the gates. And so obviously she does not have the presentation yet, but we've been meeting for about a year, and our goal is over the next 3 or 4 weeks, come back to the jury with the initiative and next steps, which would include the 3 legs that we talked about: education, pickup and cleanup, and enforcement. I've met with Yvette since Monday a couple of times, and she has some already great ideas to improve the Adopt a Road program and to go out there and educate some of our youth in the community. And you know, when I say she's passionate, I'm surprised she didn't have y'all do a cheer like she did this week about "I will not litter." Okay. I know she's looking at me right now, but she can get this group, and it's a great slogan, you know. She came, "I will not litter." Yeah. We all need to make that pledge. So, again, we will have that plan to you. It will be presented at a jury meeting, but it's going to encompass all municipalities, all folks in the parish, business leaders, and so we will have that to you folks shortly.
And Dane, that is great. Let me say, the one reason why I brought that up was because I was in Baton Rouge 5 days ago, and it was during the week, and we was driving down Holland Road. There was some kids from one of the little Catholic schools, and I guess that's Adopt a Road. Well, it was like 12 of them, and they had their wagons, and they were picking up litter on the side of the road as they would go, and they had teachers and faculty that was there with them. I'm hoping that's something that we can do, because one of the largest schools here in our parish is S.J. Welch. And I know they have all sorts of programs, and a lot of us as jurors go there and speak on a number of occasions throughout the year. I would love for us to do some kind of partnership with that, because I think a clean parish and a clean city is a functioning city and parish.
Yes,
and with
sir, I
that,
agree with that.
I mean, I know you do a great job. We all know your passion, and I'm glad that you're in that position.
Thank
to be
you
honest,
very
but
much.
if we could do something like that, getting the kids involved and educating them, because that's going to be our future. And if we can do that, I think we're already ahead of the curve.
Yes, sir.
But I thank you for your passion too. Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. Landry.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just wanted to congratulate you, and I tell you one thing, we're gonna miss you at Animal Control, because I can tell you, y'all made a great team out there, and I used to get animal calls, oh my gosh, that happened probably every week, and y'all turned that around, and very seldom do I get some kind of complaint about an animal, and or something about that department, and y'all have really done a good job over there for sure, and I know you're just gonna take that same work ethic that you had there and carry it into this new position. So congratulations, and we look forward to working with you.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate all of the kind words and the support that you all are providing to me on tonight.
Mr. Bears.
Thank you, President White. I got 2 words for you. You can take it how you want, use it how you want. Especially after the rain last night. Dip net.
Dip net, okay.
It's there waiting for you at the culverts. That's when we go pick it up. It's already piled up.
It's already there.
Oh yeah, just thank you.
I'll
Mr.
remember those
President.
words.
They're cheap. They're cheap.
Only from
Mr. McMillan.
Thank you. We will miss you at Animal Services. You did a great job out there, but I'm excited about you coming here. I think what we as jurors often want too is one control person, one-stop shopping, that when we have a problem, we'll call you and we'll know to get taken care of. So I really am looking forward to that, to having that person that's in control and in charge and passionate. And your passion and our passion and this whole jury to keep Calcasieu Parish clean is something we all want to do. We only have one chance to make a first impression, and our first impression doesn't want to be litter on the side of the road. So we look forward to you working with us on that. Thank you very
Yes,
much.
sir, I agree with that.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Gilry.
Thank you. Yvette, I just want to say congratulations. And every time I'd call over there and you would take care of a problem and the people would call me, they say she was so nice and everything. And thank you for everything you do, Yvette. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. Anderpont.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would encourage you, and I know you have a big job ahead of you, and I know you realize that you have a big job ahead of you. The Ward 4 Marshal has a litter abatement program going. I would encourage you sometime to get a hold of him, work hand in hand with him, and try to eradicate some of this litter that is uncalled for. I've always said that people who litter have no pride, and I stand by that statement today. But I'm proud that you were selected for the position, and I know that from past experience where you've been, that you'll fulfill the job, and we'll be proud of you.
Thank you.
And I yield back, Mr. President.
Sure. Any further discussion? Ms. Mayo.
Not much left to say that my colleagues haven't already said, but I'm just going to congratulate you and look forward to working with you.
Thank
And
you
if you
so
need me
much.
for anything, feel free to call.
Thank you.
Mr. Latour.
Well, I guess like everybody wants to talk to you today, huh? Well, first off, congratulations and thank you for accepting the position. And I really want to thank staff. This is something I've been really hitting on for quite a while now, especially being in a rural community. We have a lot of dumping, a lot of trash all over the place. And so I want to thank everybody who's been working on this and who will work on it in the future. And if you ever need anything, call me anytime. I'd be happy to offer my services. Thank you much. I yield back.
Anyone else?
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, and good luck. Item 4, take appropriate action on liquor and beer permits. Mr. Crane.
President, we have 2 applications before you tonight and recommend that they be approved.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Guidry and a second by Mr. Collins. Any discussion? Any objection? The item carries. Item 5, consideration of approving payments of all current invoices.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Gilry and a second by Mr. Abshire. Any discussion? Any objection? Item carries. Item 6,
Move on
consideration of
6.
approving the minutes of the regular meeting of the police jury dated March 7, 2019. I have a motion by Mr. Anderpont and a second by Mr. Latour. Any discussion? Any objection? Item carries. Item 7, consideration of approving Public Works Committee report dated March 28, 2019. Mr. McMillan.
Thank you, Mr. President. We had a Public Works Committee meeting, and item A, recommendation of approving following request. Item 1, active sale for the Jones Road Park Road Improvement Project in Ward 1. 2, approving active sale agreements for Joe Miller Road Site Distance Triangle Project in Ward 1. Item 3, approving the following items related to LA 3092 Lake Street at Ham Reed Road, active sale agreement. Item A. Item B, temporary servitude right of use agreement. And item C, sell and purchase of property. Number 4, approving the following items related to Ham Reed Road Extension Project. Utility and drainage servitude agreement is item A. Item B is pipeline reimbursement agreement. Item 5 was approving the following items related to new contractor in Ward 4. New connector in Ward 4. Item A, an active donation of land and assignment and servitude agreement. Item B, accepting a new connector road for parish maintenance, further be named Bell Cove Road. Item 6 was an advised item. Calcasieu Parish was found to be substantially compliant by the Louisiana Department of Transportation Development for the 2018 annual review. That's my report. I make a motion, we approve Public Works.
Whatever.
I have a motion by Mr. McMillan and a second by Mr. Landry to approve. Do we have any discussion? Any objection? That motion carries, or that item carries.
And I did it without my glasses.
Item 8, consideration of approving the agenda committee report.
Move on 8.
Second.
March 28, 2019. I have a motion by Mr. Abshire and a second by Mr. Bears. Any discussion? Any objection? That item carries. 9, consideration of adopting a resolution establishing the police jury's procedures for industrial tax exemption program ITEP applications. I have a motion by Mr. Landry and a second by Mr. Guidry. Any discussion? Any objection? 9 carries. 10, consideration of adopting a resolution approving various agreements related to the issuance of bonds and refunding
Move on,
of
Ken.
bonds for
Second.
various special service districts. I have a motion by Mr. Anderpont and a second by Mr. Bears. Any discussion? Any objection? That item carries. 11, consideration of adopting a resolution certifying that the Calcasieu Parish Police Jury Housing Choice Voucher Program categorically excluded from activities listed as 24 CFR 58.35 B because the attendance-based rental assistance program.
Move on item 11.
Second.
Motion by Mr. McMillan and a second by Mr. Gilry.
I don't know if we will.
Any discussion? Any objection? That item carries. 12, consideration
Move
of
on 12,
authorizing the
I'll go
parish
second.
purchase agent to advertise for bids and proposals for the following. 1, mid-size sports utility vehicle for the use of Human Service Department. B, video marquee sign for the Burton Coliseum complex. C, proposals for integrated library system. I have a motion by Mr. Collins and a second by Mr. Latour. Any discussion? Any objection? Item carries. 13, take appropriate action on the following bids and proposals received by the parish and purchasing agent. A, proposals for a case management software for the Office of Juvenile Justice Services. After review for the proposal, the staff recommends that the proposal of Tyler Technologies, Inc. be accepted. B, bids for 1 acoustic Doppler current profiler for the use of the Division of Engineering and Public Works. Staff recommends that the low responsible and responsive bid of C.C. Lynch and Associates, Inc. in the amount of $30,930 be accepted. C, bids for water level monitoring station parts. The staff recommends the respective and low responsible and responsive bids for Blue Water Design Technologies, LLC, Campbell Scientific, Inc., and High Sierra Electronics, Inc. be accepted. D, improvements of the elevated water storage tanks for Water District Number 2 of Ward 4 project. Staff recommends that the low bid in the amount of $218,882 of precision inspection of Plocheville LLC be accepted. E, bids for ready-mix concrete and hot mix. Ready-mix concrete, the staff recommends that the low responsible and responsive bid for Dunham Price LLC be accepted. Hot mix, the staff recommends that the low responsible and responsive bid of R.E. Height Construction Company LLC be accepted. F, bids of aluminum corrugated round pipe. The staff recommends that the low responsible and responsive bid of Coastal Culvert and Supply, Inc. in the amount of $35,337.60 be accepted. G, bids of two 2019 or newer mid-size sports utility vehicles for the use of Office of Juvenile Justice Services and the Calcasieu Parish Public Library System. The staff recommends the low responsible and responsive bid of Mike Willis Ford LLC in the amount of $51,900 be accepted. H, Calcasieu Parish Project number 19-102-0004. The parish engineer recommends that the low bid in the amount of $3,367,983.87 of R.E. Height Construction Company LLC be accepted.
Move on 13 on all bullets.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. McMillan and a second by Mr. Abshire. Any discussion?
I know what if you can let him go first, I know what he wants.
Bears.
Mr. President, I need to recuse myself.
Very good.
From item 13G. Thank you.
Mr. Landry.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Wainwright, on D, I hope you or someone in your department or office spoke to this company, because that certainly looks like a mistake.
So,
You're gonna run these guys out of business if you give them that bid.
Well, we have checked it. In fact, our engineer on this particular project was Meyer and Associates. They reviewed the bids. In fact, their bid is much closer to actual estimate.
Okay.
The high bid is actually high.
They must just not have done the job, I guess, or didn't.
So we're very comfortable with the contract and the award.
Hey, I'm just trying to keep you from having a problem. Okay, so we're good.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Any objection? Item carries. 14, consideration of proclaiming the week of April 14th through 20th, 2019 as National Telecommunicator Week in Calcasieu Parish. I have a motion by Mr. Collins and a second by Mr. Bears. Any discussion? Any objection? Item carries. 15, take appropriate action on terms of the following members of various boards and districts. A, Gravity Drainage District Number 5 of Ward 4, Mr. Damon Goss.
Move to reappoint.
Second.
Mr. Lance Trahan.
Wait, you got to vote on one at a time.
Both reappointments. Do we have to do it one at a time?
We should take appointments one.
All right. Mr. Damon Goss. We have a motion by Mr. McMillan and a second by Mr. Landry to reappoint Mr. Damon Goss. Mr. Lance Trahan. Do we have any discussion? Any objection? Move to reappoint. Mr. Lance Trahan.
Move to reappoint Mr. Lance Trahan.
A motion by Mr. Bears to reappoint Mr. Lance Trahan, a second by Mr. Latour. Any discussion? Any objection? Mr. Bears.
I guess on that one, I could take part in that. Says, Gravity Drainage District Number 5, Ward 4, Mr. Andrew Bont, Mr. Farnham.
Well, yeah. Yeah, you're good.
Okay,
Sure.
good deal.
Feel good.
I'm good.
Any further discussion? Any objection?
Right.
Item carries. B, Recreation District Number 1 of Ward 4, Mr. Gerald Trimmy.
I'd like to appoint Mr. Jeremy Duplichan.
Second.
Mr. McMillan moves to appoint Mr. Jeremy Duplichan and a second by Mr. Landry. Any discussion? Any objection? Mr. Duplichan is appointed. C, Ward 4 Fire Protection District Number 3, Mr. Jeremy Duplichan.
I'd like to appoint Mr. Curtis Alexander.
Millen moves to appoint Mr. Alexander, and a second by Mr. Gilroy. Any discussion? Any objection? Item carries. D, Lake Charles North Redevelopment Authority, Dr. McKinney.
So
Hawks.
move. Second.
Motion by
Reappoint.
Mr. Gilroy
To
to reappoint, and a second by Mr. Collins. Any discussion? Any objection? Reappointed. E, Calcasieu Parish Ward 7 Fire Protection District Number 1 Civil Service Board, Ms. Kathy Jackson. It was deferred for 30 days.
Move to defer for 30 days.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Barris to defer for 30 days, and a second by Mr. Abshire. Any discussion? Any objection? Move to defer. 16 is a May 2019 advised item. And 17 is consideration of going into executive session to discuss Vicky Hood
Move to go on executive
and
session.
Sasol Energy USA LLC and the Calcasieu Parish Police Jury. We have a motion to go into consecutive session for Mr. McMillan, and a second by Mr. Brain. We'll now go into executive session.
Second.
I have a motion to receive report from legal counsel by Mr. Anderpont, and a second by Mr. Abshire.
Second.
We are adjourned.